चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So last time we were discussing from NOD and I'll share the PPT. So we were discussing this topic, that is first speciality of bhakti. So previous to this we had discussed the six specialities of bhakti. What are the six specialities we had discussed? This shloka we had seen. First is klesha ghni, its ability to destroy suffering. Shubhada, its bestowal of auspiciousness. Third, moksha laghuta krit, its disregard for liberation. Sudurlabha, its rarity of attainment. Sandranand Visheshatma, its manifestation of concentrated bliss. And last, sixth speciality was its ability to attract Krishna. And also Srimati Radharani. How do we know? Because here we can see the word is Shri Krishna Akarshini. So this bhakti attracts Shri as well as Krishna, both. Okay, both are attracted by this. So, and previous to this, fifth one, Sandrananda Visheshatma. Okay, whose Atma, whose soul nature is what? A particular type of bliss. Which type of bliss? Vishesh Ananda. Okay, Vishesh, special, a special type of Ananda, special Ananda. And in that also, how much is that? It's very dense. Like we say the word in Hindi, Saghan, means very dense, density is high. So Sandra Ananda Visheshatma means a special bliss in its dense form. Okay, a special type of bliss in its dense form. Okay, very high density. So that is nothing but actually Hladini potency. Okay, so and also we have discussed that first two specialities are available for a sadhaka during the phase of sadhan bhakti. The total four, one, two, three, and four, all four are available to a bhava bhakta at the stage of bhava, and all six are available only to a prema bhakta who is at the stage of prema. Okay, so each two specialities manifest during the sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, and prem bhakti. Okay, and previous to this, we had also seen the definition of the pure devotional service, anyabhilashita shunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttama bhakti definition we had seen. Okay, so those were the characteristics of bhakti, and these are six specialities of bhakti. So we have also discussed what is the difference between the characteristics of bhakti and speciality of bhakti. Okay, so I'll repeat one example is there by which we can understand what is the characteristic and speciality. Like we have a tiger. So the characteristics of the tiger are what? Like it belongs to the species of cats. Correct. Tiger belongs to a species of cats. Second thing is we can say it has stripes on its body, right? There are stripes, black color stripes on the body of the tiger. Correct. And it has some canines. Correct. These are the characteristics of the tiger. What is the implication of this word characteristic? Means it is there with the tiger always. Okay, whatever may be the day and season and time, irrespective of that, the tiger is always able to have these things. So, what are the four characteristics of bhakti? Anyabhilashita shunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, anukulyena, and Krishna anushilanam. Okay, these four things we have discussed. Okay, so these are the four characteristics which is always there with the Uttama Bhakti. Uttama Bhakti means these four will be always seen. Like a tiger always has the black stripes, canines, and it belongs to the species of cat. Okay, these are the few characteristics. There are many more we can say which always remains with the tiger. But if we see the tiger also has some specialities. What speciality it may have? It can have a speciality of like catching a deer and killing. Correct. And it can have also a speciality of jumping maybe 4 feet high. It can jump 4 feet. So are these specialities always seen in the tiger at every time, at every moment? Can we see it always?
Yes, Prabhuji.
We can see always tiger jumping 4 feet. Matlab, it's
No,
always showing
Prabhuji.
whenever
No, no, no,
No,
no,
no,
no. At
Prabhuji.
certain period of time, Prabhu.
catching a deer. Okay, it's not always seen. Like the stripes of the tiger is seen always.
Mm-hmm.
But jumping 4 feet, catching a deer, or hiding in the bushes and catching the prey, all these things are seen sometimes. Sometimes it is visible. Or feeding the cub. Okay. So these are we've seen sometimes. Like that's the specialities of bhakti are seen sometimes. Okay. Sometimes it shows. And sometimes it may not show. Okay. So like here six specialities are there. Klesha Agni, its ability to destroy suffering. Shubhada, bestowal of auspiciousness. Okay. Moksha Laguta Krit, disregard for liberation. Okay. So a sadhak bhakta cannot show 3, 4, 5, and 6th speciality. It's not present in him at all. Okay. And then Sandrananda Visheshatma, Shri Krishna Akarshini Chasa. Okay. So what is this Sa? Sa word is obviously that lady is being described. Which lady is being described? Who was being described till now? 1.1.11. One lady was described. Who was that? 1.1.11. That was Uttama Bhakti. She was described. So that feminine personality is again referred to here by this word Sa. Okay. These are the her characters, her specialities, like that it is said. Okay. So is it clear the difference between the four characteristics, that is Anya Vilashita Shunyam and all, and six specialities? The six specialities are not seen always in a devotee. Sometimes it may be seen, sometimes it may not be seen. Okay. How do we know there are specialities? Because the Rupa Goswami has used the word in Sanskrit Vaisishtyam. Okay. Vaishishtyam, Vishishtata. Okay. In Hindi we have word Visishtata. Something special. Okay. Vishesh, special. Vaishishtata comes from that. Means having specialness. Okay. The state of having something special is called specialness, like that. Okay. So this we have discussed till now. And just to summarize in Prabhupada's own words, I will show from NOD, Nectar of Devotion. Okay. What Prabhupada has told about pure devotional service. And then we will go ahead with today's discussion. Okay. Maybe somebody can read from here. Okay. This we discussed already. These are the six. And definition of pure devotional service. Yeah, there is one important paragraph Prabhupada writes. Yes, here. Okay. See, Gangaputra, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu. The definition of pure devotee, as given by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, can be summarized thus: his service is favorable and is always in relation to Krishna. In order to keep purity of such a Krishna consciousness activities, one must be freed from all material desire and philosophical speculation. Any desire except for the service of the Lord is called material desire, and philosophical speculation refers to the sort of speculation which ultimately arises at a conclusion of voidism or impersonalism. This conclusion is useless for Krishna conscious person. Only rarely by philosophical speculation can one reach the conclusion of worshipping Vasudeva Krishna. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita itself. The
Yeah.
ultimate eh,
Yeah. So here Prabhupada has told the summary of the verse Anyabhilashita Shunyam Gyan Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanushilyena Bhaktiruttama, that he is summarizing. So Anyabhilashita Shunyam, he has told any desire except for the service of the Lord is called material desire. Okay. So in that we saw specifically two desires are there in a person, bhukti and mukti. Desire for enjoying material world and desire for liberation. Okay, that is done. Okay. And then second part, Gyan Karma Dhyanavritam, he has described here. Philosophical speculation part, yes. Yeah, please continue, Praji, from here.
the ultimate eh, the ultimate end of philosophical speculation then must be Krishna, with the understanding that Krishna is everything, the cause of all causes, and that one should therefore surrender unto him. If this ultimate goal is reached, then philosophical advancement is favorable. But if the conclusion of the philosophical speculation is voidism or impersonalism, that is not that is not bhakti.
Yeah, continue.
Karma, karma or fruity activities are sometimes understood to be ritualistic activities. There are many persons who are very much attracted by the ritualistic activities described in the Vedas. Simply to ritualistic activities without understanding Krishna, his activities are unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. Actually, Krishna consciousness can be based simply on hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. Described in the Srimad Bhagavatam are the nine different processes beside which everything done is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. Thus, one should always be guarding against fall downs.
Yeah, so now Prabhupada described what the karma part. Okay, what is this karma? It is understood to be some ritualistic activity. And basically, he is saying that anything which is not favorable to Krishna consciousness, okay, that. And specifically, what it means is that we should do the nine limbs of bhakti, nine Navavidha bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, all that. Okay. Yeah, please continue.
Srila Rupa Goswami has also mentioned in this definition of bhakti word jnana karma adi. This karma, the fruity work, consists of activities which are unable to help one attain to pure devotional service. Many forms of so-called renunciation are also not favorable to Krishna conscious devotional service. Srila
Yeah.
Rupa Goswami has also quoted a definition from Narada Pancharatra as follows: one should be free from all material designation, and by Krishna consciousness must be cleansed of all material contamination. He should be restored to his pure identity, in which he engaged his senses in the service of the proprietor of the senses. So, when our senses are engaged for the actual proprietor of the senses, that is called devotional service. In our in our conditional state, our senses are engaged in serving the bodily demand. When the same senses are engaged in ex- executing the order of Krishna, our activities are called bhakti.
Yeah. Yeah. Continue, Praji.
As long as one identifies himself as belonging to certain family, a certain society, or a certain person, he is said to be covered with designation. When one is fully aware that he does not belong to any family, society, or country, but is eternally related to Krishna, he then realizes that his energy should be employed not in the interest of so called family, society, or country, but in the interest of Krishna. This is the purity of purpose and the platform of pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness.
Next. Thank you, Priji. So this Prabhupada has summarized the pure devotional service definition. And last time we also discussed a little bit about relief from material distress. So go back to PPT. And okay, Aruna Mata, you have any question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, as you mentioned that Klesha, Agni, and Shubda, these all are the specialities and not the characteristics. But how do we
Hmm.
understand when Prabhupada is mentioning in the book,
Hmm.
calling them as characteristic of your devotional services?
Yeah, so the word Prabhupada used is characteristics, correct. And now when we see the explanation which Prabhupada is giving, we'll see the explanation in each of the characteristics. So we can see that Prabhupada himself will say that they are not always present in the uh, practitioner of Uttama Bhakti. Okay. So when we use the word characteristics, as English dictionary says, that it is something which is always there. Like Prabhupada himself says, the sugar means it's always sweet. The dharma of sugar is it is always sweet. Correct. Similarly, he explains about water. Okay. The dharma of water is liquidity. Like that. So when we understand the English dictionary, the word characteristics can be meant, which is like if we may understand in general. Prabhupada may mean it to be speciality, but when we understand ourselves, we may think that it is always present in bhakti. Okay, so that's why I have made the differentiation, because in Prabhupada words, obviously he has used the word characteristics for both. But when he explains, it will be seen that actually it's not always present in a devotee, these six things. Okay, so Prabhupada may mean it to be like that, but when we may use the word characteristic again and again, it may not be well understood by us. That's why.
So it means, Prabhuji, in case of a pure devotee, it's not necessary that we see these six
Always,
specialities.
always, yeah,
Always.
always.
It's always okay. But
Yeah.
these six may be present, but in
Mhm.
at different point of times, not
Ah,
at the
yeah.
same time, right?
And some, yeah, and sometime it may not be seen also. Like we can say Sandarananda Visheshatma or Sri Krishna Akarshani. It's not that every moment the pure devotee is showing that. It's there in him. Like just like they gave the example of a tiger jumping 4 feet high. It's present in the tiger, but that will not be seen always.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is the understanding.
Okay. It is basically in relation to timing, right, Ravi?
Yeah, yeah. It is.
Or
It's
maybe the
time.
maybe the frequency, how
Yeah,
many
time,
times.
place, circumstance. Based on that, it comes out. Okay, like if last time we have discussed that, like sometime Mother Yashoda may be angry. Okay, so that is a particular sattvic bhav, not sattvic bhav, sanchari bhav, means which is transient emotion, means sometimes it comes and goes. Like she may bind Krishna. It's not that she is always angry with Krishna. It's a transient emotion which may come sometime, maybe there sometime, and then it will go also. It's there in her. So we cannot say that it is a characteristic of Mother Yashoda to be angry,
Hmm.
but it's one of the ways she can give pleasure to Lord. Okay, which is coming sometimes. Okay, so like that. So in the same way, we can understand speciality is that which is there sometimes. When it is needed, it will be there. It may come and it may go like that. Is it okay? So we are not saying what we're using the word speciality, that uh, Prabhupada is using the word characteristics, but we may not understand in the way that he means it.
Okay,
Okay,
Ravi. And when it comes to the six characteristics, like Anya, Abhilashi, Darshanam,
four
and all that,
characteristics.
they has to be present all the time, right? They
They
will
are
be.
present. Yeah, they are present all the time. For like the devotee is always Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, always free of the desires, devoid of serving Krishna. Okay, he's always, yeah, always free of material desires. Okay, and he is always Gyan Karma Dhyanavritam, uncovered by the Gyan and Karma aspects. Always he is anukulyena, favorably disposed, and trying to serve Krishna, Krishna Anushilanam. Always these things are there. Okay. Like we discussed last time, there is like a primary and secondary characteristics. So some are there which are primary and some are which are secondary, but they are always there. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Any
Thank you,
other
Prabhuji.
questions anybody has till now what we discussed? Okay. So in speciality one, Kleshigni, we have discussed this part. So what we have discussed is Klesha, suffering is threefold. First is what? Papam, that is sinful activity itself. Second is Bijam, that is sinful desire. And third is Avidya, we discussed. Okay. So this is ignorance. And what is the order? The order is like this. First is Avidya, which comes first means the root cause. Just like in Parampara, we have Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Prabhupada. So like that, here also we have a Parampara. Okay. From Avidya comes Bijam. From Bijam comes Papam. And because of Papam, if there, sinful activity is done, the person is suffering. Okay, this is what is there. Okay, this is the order. And then we have also discussed that sinful reaction, this papam itself, is of two types. Okay, that which is experienced in future lives, that is called aprarabdha. So we discussed that what is meaning or how to understand the word meaning of the word prarabdha. So prarabdha means prakrisht रूपेण आरब्ध. आरब्ध means किसका आरंभ हो गया है. That which has begun. When did it begin? As soon as the living entity came into the womb of his mother. Okay. So from that time itself, it began. When will it end? When he will die in this life, then it will end. Okay, that is called prarabdha. Okay, which is experienced in this lifetime. That is called prarabdha. Aprarabdha means that which will not begin in this life. A prarabdha, which will not begin in this life. That is simple understanding of this word. Okay, these are all things we have discussed. And then in Prabhupada's own words, we discussed. He gave the example of the disease, a chronic disease. Okay. If one is suffering from some, and then another example he gave about the legal implication. So mature sinful activities are exhibited if one is suffering from some chronic disease. So mature means what? Which is prarabdha, which has begun, okay, which is being seen, and some legal implication also. If one is born in a low and degraded family like his caste and his varna, whatever, he is already born, that is already given to him in this life. That is example of prarabdha. Okay, this we have seen. And these are the last thing we saw where Rupa Goswami is giving the proof that bhakti destroys all this from various scriptures, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. So first proof he gave for destruction of aprarabdha karma. So from the 11th canto to 14th chapter he gave. Krishna is speaking to Uddhava. Okay, just as a blazing fire burns to ashes all the fuel, similarly, devotional service in relationship with me burns to ashes all the sinful reactions. Okay. So this example of burning the firewood was given. That it destroys all the sinful activities. Sorry, the aprarabdha karma. Okay. Now the question is, which one is more difficult to destroy? Prarabdha is more difficult or aprarabdha? Anybody would like to answer? Which is more difficult, prarabdha to destroy or aprarabdha?
Prarabdha Prabhu, because that is more recent and
Or
possible
Prarabdha.
in this life only.
Okay,
Or
it is
Prarabdha.
more recent. Okay, and okay, aprarabdha. Okay, why aprarabdha?
Because Prabhuji, it is yet to fructify. It has
Hmm.
not, manifested.
Okay.
Prarabdhanas are already manifested, so we have to go through them.
Okay. So it's right now. If we are going already going through them, then it's difficult. Just like suppose we have a wood cutting machine. If the wood is already put inside the wood cutting machine and it's already being cut, then it's difficult to remove and then use it as a firewood or make a furniture out of it. So
Hmm.
that wood which is there in the godown will be easier to be used, right? Or like that. So should we not say like that? So actually, yeah, prarabdha is more difficult to destroy because the living entity is already awarded his jati or caste and varna, whatever is there, that is already awarded to him at the time of birth. Okay, it cannot be changed now. Bhakti may destroy all the sinful reactions which may come in the future because it's not yet awarded. It's going to come. So that is easier to destroy actually, even though it's very big, but it's easier to destroy. But that which has already started to change the person, what he was at the time of birth, is more difficult. Okay, so when we see that how actually devotees actually have various qualities they develop when they become devotee, they change their characteristics, they change their lifestyle, they change their habits. Correct. Actually, changes start happening, and it's not overnight, obviously. But bhakti changes prarabdha also, but it's more difficult. Okay, so that we are going to see how the prarabdha also is destroyed for a devotee. So we have seen this bhakti destroys prarabdha, third canto, Devahuti. Mother Devahuti is speaking, okay, to Lord Kapila, to her son, that how holy name destroys the all the prarabdha also. Okay. To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see supreme person face to face, even a person born in a family of dog eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name of Supreme Personality of Godhead or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him, like that. Okay. So she is telling, okay, I am able to see you face to face. So it's very easy. But even somebody who utters your holy name or remembers you, he will also destroy the prarabdha. Okay. So here we have to start from. Okay. So we'll see what Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas have to say. Let's read this. Okay. Somebody would like to read?
Yes, Prabhu, I can.
Yes, please.
Yes. Bhakti destroys prarabdha karma. Such a person, by performing any one of the devotional limbs, as mentioned above, destroys these prarabdha karmas which have produced this low birth, which prevents him from performing sacrifices. Also, performance of bhakti also creates the pious credits and qualities needed for performing sacrifices. But in order to undergo second initiation, one should have taken the Vedic initiation and learned the Vedas from a very young age. But the dog eater has missed it.
Yeah. So basically, the point is that obviously the person has chanted holy name, remembered the Lord. So what the verse is saying, if you see, the verse is saying that he becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. Okay, he becomes eligible. So does it mean that he will now start tomorrow performing the Vedic sacrifices? So it is described. No, it is not like that. Tomorrow he will not start. But what is the meaning of this? The meaning is that he can be respected as a person who can do Vedic sacrifices. But the training is missed because he has not learnt it from his childhood. Like he's here, you see what he's saying. In order to undergo second initiation, one should have taken the Vedic initiation, Upanayana. Correct. We have heard the word Upanayana, Upanayana Samskar, and learned the Vedas from the very young age because in the Vedic sacrifices you have to chant the Vedas. That training is not taken, but the person is eligible to be given as a respect, like a person or a Brahmana who is performing Vedic sacrifices. That eligibility is there in him, but that does not mean tomorrow he will start performing the sacrifices. Yeah, continue.
Bhakti destroys prarabdha karma. The purpose of this verse is not to advocate his immediate performance of sacrifices.
Yeah.
Therefore, if he wants to perform Vedic sacrifices, he has to wait for one more birth because of
Mm.
his lack of proper conduct or sishtakara at the young age, while he was still a dog eater. Savanna Kalpate also means that he should be given the respect.
Shavanayakal.
Savanaya Kalpate also means that he should be given the respect due to a qualified person.
Mm. Okay, so that's what I said. The person who is qualified to perform Vedic sacrifices, that respect is due to him. He can get that respect. But to perform actually the sacrifices, he need to undergo the training of chanting the mantras like that. Okay. He has to wait one more birth actually to perform such sacrifices because that Sishtachar is not taught from the young age. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
Bhakti destroys prarabdha karma. But one might ask, how can you say that the prarabdha karma is destroyed? He still has the same body. Simple reactions due to bad birth in the form of acquisition of bad qualities and sufferings are removed immediately. But the birth itself cannot be changed from one parent to another. But bad qualities are definitely destroyed by bhakti.
Yeah, so this is what I was trying to explain, that sinful reactions due to his bad birth in the form of acquisition of bad qualities and suffering are removed immediately by the path of bhakti. By what? Chanting the holy name, remembering the Lord. That all is removed immediately. But his birth itself cannot be changed. What do you mean by birth? By his caste, what caste he was born in, or what varna he had acquired by the time of birth. These all cannot be changed at once because his family, his parents are not going to be changed. But what can happen? The bad qualities are definitely destroyed. So a person, as we know, guna karma vibhagashah, Bhagavad Gita says, Chaturu, okay, Chaturvarnya Maya system, correct. And guna karma vibhagashah. So his qualities, that is his guna, are changed. So when the quality of a person changes, his activities also will change. And then when that changes, then his varna also will be elevated. Okay. Yeah.
Such a low-born practitioner of bhakti does not perform sacrifices, but not because of his lack of qualification, but because he has no faith in them as he is endowed with pure bhakti. One might ask, if practice of bhakti removes suffering, why then do I see devotees suffering? Devotees'
Yeah, just one
happiness.
minute, Prabhu, 1 minute. New topic is starting here. Just 1 minute. So till now, another, this is second reason. Okay. Second reason why he is not performing the sacrifices. First reason was that he is not trained. He has to wait one more birth. Second reason is given that he has no faith in them. Why no faith? Because they are all part of Varnashram. Okay, Varnashram system. So they are all having the karma faith. Those who have faith in karma yoga, they specifically do the Vedic sacrifices which are guided in the Varnashram literatures. Okay, karma literatures. Okay. So, but the devotees who have faith in bhakti, okay, they are doing what? Nine limbs of bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. He will not do the performance of the Vedic sacrifices because he has no faith in them. This is the second reason. Okay. He doesn't feel the need, that he doesn't feel that my bhakti will get advanced. I'll advance in bhakti by following these rules and regulations of doing Vedic sacrifices, all these things. I don't need to do. He feels that, okay, just chanting the holy name, that is sufficient for me. That is his faith. Okay. And now a new question is being raised. Okay. That, okay, you are saying that prarabdha karma is destroyed. Aprarabdha already destroyed previous verse you quoted. Now we are saying that prarabdha karma also destroyed. That means the devotee has prarabdha, aprarabdha, both kinds of karma destroyed. So why do we see the devotee suffering then? They should not be suffering. You are saying that it's destroyed. So devotee should not be suffering. They should be always happy. So this question will be raised by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and then he will himself answer. Yes, Prabhuji, please read.
Devotee's happiness is due to his practice of bhakti, not punya karma, and his suffering is given personally by the Lord's mercy, not due to bad karma.
Ah, yes. So now the answer begins. Very, very big answer. It will go at least 5, 6 slides. Okay, but it's very, very important because we keep forgetting this. Okay, and many, many times I have seen, even after being explained many times, devotee still after some time will again ask the same thing. But how is it possible that devotees' karma are destroyed, or why are devotees suffering? Some incident will happen, or something will happen, and again devotees will get the same question. So, so please hear this attentively, okay? And if possible, try to note it down somewhere, or make a notes in your mobile. Whenever you have these questions, why somebody is being attacked in Bangladesh, why somebody being attacked in Ukraine, So why some devotees are suffering there? Why some devotee died in air crash, flight air crash? Why some devotee have this happened with him in his life? Why this devotee at the age of 31 years got a heart attack recently in Pune, just 2 weeks ago? One very good devotee. He just in the morning he got heart attack and just left within 2 3 hours. So we don't know why these things are happening, and we again keep getting this question that why are devotees suffering? Why some accidents are happening with devotee which are happening with normal people also? Correct. So I don't know how many of you keep getting these questions again. Means at least I keep getting. So I keep this section handy, and I read this again so that faith is again there. Okay. So please continue, Project. Read this.
And this slide over, Prabhuji. Should I read again? Devotee happiness is due to this practice of
No,
bhakti.
no, no. You read. I have to explain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Devotee's happiness is due to his practice of bhakti, not punya karma. Generally, for a person who has karma adhikar, okay, karma adhikar he has means what? What do you mean of karma adhikar? Means he has faith in karma literatures. Okay. Karma literatures. Okay. He has faith in those literatures. Okay. In the karma kanda. Okay, karma literature means karma kanda. The section of Vedas where karma path is being described is called karma kanda. That section of the Vedas, those books in the Vedas where jnana path is being described is called jnana kanda. And those section of the Vedas where bhakti marg is being described is called upasana kanda. Okay, we can see Prabhupada's purport. He many times refers to these three things: karma kanda, jnana kanda, and upasana kanda. Okay, so these three are different literatures, different parts of the Vedas where these paths are described. Okay, Karma Kanda itself is not a path. It's a set of books based on which Karma Yoga or the path of karma is being followed. And those who have faith in them, they have Karma Adhikar. And what is their goal? Two types of goal they have. If they are having Sakama Karma, they want to go to Swarga. If they are Nishkama Karma, they want to purify their heart and go to Jnana Yoga. Okay, these are the two types of person having Karma Adhikar. Now, there are people who have Bhakti Adhikar. Okay, they have Bhakti Adhikar. What is their Adhikar? That they can perform Bhakti. How do we know they are having Adhikar for this? What is their characteristics? Anyabhilashita Shunyam, Gyan Karma Dhyanavritam, Anukulena Krishnanushulinam, Bhaktir Uttama. These are their characteristics. So then we understand these people are qualified for Bhakti. That is the qualification of Bhakti. That's what we read now. Then for them, what happens? Lord says, don't worry, I will take charge of you. I will personally take care of you. What is the difference? Earlier we have discussed, just like a king has two types of people to be taken care. One is his praja, second is his son. So devotees are like the son of the king. So king will not say minister to take care of his son. No. King will say, I will personally take care of your needs. That is devotees for Lord. And then there is praja. For them also, the king only is taking care, but not directly, through some system. So like that, they are karmadikar people. Okay. Gyanadhikar I am not discussing here. That is something different. Okay. So devotees' happiness is due to practice of bhakti, not due to punya. So devotees may do some pious activities, but that doesn't mean their happiness in life comes from that. Their happiness in life comes only by Lord directly. Lord will say whether I will decide whether this will give you happiness or not. And Lord will also say whether this impious activity which you have done, this bad karma which you have done, okay, whether that is going to give you suffering or not, I will decide. On what basis does the Lord decide? He decides on the basis of what will make the devotee come near to him. That's it. Just one principle. He wants to come near me. He has faith in me. He wants to come near me. I will take care that whatever happens in his life, he is going to come near me. That's it. That's what I want. He wants me. I want him. That's it. Sadhavo hridayam mayam. Okay. Uh, aham tu sadhavos. I am in the heart of the devotee. Devotees are in my heart. Sadhunam hridayam tuham. Nanyate na janati, naham tebhyo managapi. Neither they know anybody else, nor I know anybody else like that. Okay. So this is the principle, this is the transition between the Lord and devotee. Okay. So now let's go ahead. Yes. So now one principle is said. Now somebody may ask, okay, you are saying these big things that devotees are not getting suffering because of karma and all these things. What is the proof of this? So immediately Vishwanath Thakur will give proof. Okay, no speaking from our own, understanding mind or whatever. Immediately the Acharya will give their proof. Okay. So what is he giving a proof from? From Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. Lord himself is saying. What is Lord himself saying? He says, Yasyaham anugrinami harishye tadhanam shaneh tato adhanam tejantyasya swajana dukkha dukkhitam. Yes, Prabhuji, please read the translation.
If I especially favor someone, yasya aham anugrahami, I gradually deprive him of his wealth. Arishya tadadhanam, then the relatives and friends of such a poverty-stricken man abandon him. Tito adhanam tejante yasya swajanam. In this way, he suffers one distress after another. Dukkha dukhitam.
Yeah, very nice verse. Prabhupada quoted this many times in relation to himself also.
Yeah, Prabhuji, sorry what I'm mentioning, that this is one of my best verse. I read and learned by heart many years ago, basically, because this is
Hmm.
exactly what I have experienced in my life, actually.
Yeah, not only you, Prabhuji, many devotees have experienced, but they may not have related to this verse, but many devotees have experienced this. Okay, and in their lives or others' lives, yeah. So, if I especially favor someone, who is that someone? A devotee. Which kind of devotee is he? He can be a practitioner or he can be a perfected person. Okay, these are both called devotees. How do you know that these are both are devotees are said here? Okay, because from 1.1.11 in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, what did it start? From here, the realm of Bhakti Yoga, Uttama Bhakti started. And then Rupa Goswami is going to describe what Sadhana Bhakti. Now, next, in the next wave, Sadhana Bhakti he is going to describe. Okay, that is applicable for Sadhaka. So we will see that Uttama Bhakti is applicable to Sadhaka. So Klesha Agni is applicable for whom? For whom it's being applicable? Anybody who practices Uttama Bhakti. Anybody who is practicing Uttama Bhakti from this 1.1.11 verse onwards, whatever started is the realm of Uttama Bhakti. And who are the person qualified for this Uttama Bhakti? Are Sadhaka as well as Siddha. Perfected as well as practitioners. For both of them, this whole Kleshagni, Subhada, everything is applicable. But manifestation may be there at different stages. Kleshagni and Shubhada occurs at sadhana stage. Moksha Laghutakrit and Sudurlabha appears at Bhava stage. And other two appear at Prema stage. That is there. Okay, but Kleshagni appears for sadhaka also. That means Prarabdha karma, Aprarabdha karma, Papam, Bijam, everything is destroyed for sadhaka also. Given that he is practicing Uttama Bhakti. Okay, Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Okay, so what does the Lord say? I gradually deprive. I personally deprive him of his wealth. Harishe, take away. Dhanam, shanah, gradually, slowly. I take it. Prabhupada many times he referred to himself that I was having a big medical shop and a big laboratory, and then Lord gradually took away that, and then he had to give up his wife, children, everything. So Lord took away so that Lord can bring out something very good from him. Okay, which Prabhupada told as a pastime, obviously, that I understood it later. Okay. So then the relatives and friends of such a person who is poverty stricken abandon him, right? Many times we have seen, yeah, actually in society that if person is not having money, many people don't want to associate with him. Okay. I'm not saying about devotees, but outside it's like that. Okay, in this way, he suffers one distress after another. Okay. So Lord himself is saying that I give distress to devotees. Yes, please continue.
A man suffers misery because of loss of wealth. He suffers further because of rejection by his relatives because he is poor. This suffering being given by the Lord is not the result of karma. Even the happiness given to the Lord's devotee is not the result of karma, but rather an unrequested result of bhakti.
Yeah. So same question was asked by Yudhishthir Maharaj that why are we suffering? Okay. So the same answer was given there also. Vishwanath Thakur explains same thing in the first canto Bhishmadev section when he asked Bhishmadev. Yudhishthir Maharaj asked Bhishmadev, why are we suffering? So Bhishmadev says, nobody can understand the plan of the Lord. Okay, what is that? Nahi yasya karichid rajan puman ved vidhitsitum yad vijigyasaya yukta muhyanti kavyopihi. He says that nahi yasya karichid rajan puman ved vidhitsitum. Nobody can know, no person can know what is the plan of the Lord. Hmm. Yad vijigyasaya yukta muhyanti kavyopihi. Even great people are bewildered. What is Lord wanting to do? So Yudhishthira Maharaj also bewildered. Why am I suffering? I have not done anything impious in my life. But again, same shloka is quoted. If Lord is wanting to take away the wealth and all the things from him, then he will slowly do it. Okay. So if I especially favor somebody. So when Lord is especially favoring somebody, then he will gradually deprive him of all the happiness and wealth, everything. Okay. Yes, Praji, continue.
The happiness and distress which appear to be prarabdha karma are given by the Lord Himself. The Shruti says, Bhavad Utta Subha Subhoya,
Ashubha. Shubha, Subha,
Ashubha,
Ashubha.
Ashubhoya.
Hmm.
When a person realizes you, he no longer cares about his good and bad fortune arising from pious and sinful acts, since it is you alone who controls this good and bad fortune.
Yeah. So this is what Srimad Bhagavatam 108740 he quotes again. Now Vishnu Thakur is quoting Praman from Shruti and Bhagavatam. That what is the Praman for? Praman is for this statement. This happiness and distress which appear to be prarabdha karma for a devotee are given by the Lord himself. Okay. Yeah. Now the question arises, how can the Lord so affectionate to his devotee, make him suffer? He is saying that sadhu hridayam mayam, sadhunam hridayam tuham, all these great things. He is saying that Lord, I am seated in the heart of my devotee. Devotee are seated in my heart. They are very affectionate to me. All this, but oh Lord, saying all this, you are giving them suffering. Yudhishthira Maharaj, you are saying so dear to you, but why are you making him suffer 11 years in the forest and Agyatwas 1 more year? Correct? Yeah. Please read this project.
The father, though affectionate to his son, gives them the austerity of studying by taking away their sources of enjoyment. The father knows that the action is a sign of his affection, though the son does not appreciate it at that time.
Yeah, so this example is given by Vishwanath Chadakur to explain that why we may see some devotees suffering apparently. Okay, even in current times, some devotee may be attacked, some devotee may be having heart attack or something. So we do have not seen the bigger picture. Okay, so he is giving example that father, he is although affectionate, but he takes away the sources of enjoyment. Like he may take away the mobile or laptop from the son who should be studying as of now. He should do the austerity of studying. Similarly, the devotee may require the austerity of undergoing some suffering so that they can come quickly to him. Okay, like that. So father knows that the action is a sign of his affection. And later the son will only thank the father that, yeah, it was good that you did not give me the opportunity to just whole day play in the mobile or laptop. But you took away that, and I am somebody who is very means good person now, like that. Okay. So now the question is, as the experience of happiness and suffering coming either from karma or directly from the Lord is similar, then what distinguishes them? Somebody may say, okay, all this said and done, but see, outside people also suffering, right? And you are saying devotee also suffering. Okay, let the Lord give personally, no problem. But both people are suffering, na? So what is the difference between the suffering of the people who are outside in the whole material world, whole samsara, compared to devotees? What is the difference? Okay, Lord is giving them suffering, but they are suffering. Outside people also suffering. What is the difference? Yes, please read the answer.
Even though experiencing happiness or suffering arising from karma, therefore finishing with the effects, person still maintains the seed or desire, the cause which will produce further happiness and suffering. The cause is desire for enjoyment.
Yeah, so the answer here he started to give is that the people who are suffering outside, which are following the path of karma, that person still maintains the seed or desire. Now he will suffer. In future, that desire is still there. In next life or some other life, again he will do the same activity and he will again suffer. That will create further distress or happiness. Yeah.
That seed continues and produces more suffering. According to the degree of karma or sin, the person experiences a certain degree of happiness or suffering, even to the extent of falling to hell. Thus, there are three qualities of karmic suffering.
Yeah. So the person who is not a devotee, okay, he has to suffer. That suffering has three qualities. Yeah.
Even though the experience of happiness and distress destroys the karma, the desire is not gone. That desire leads to more actions which lead to further happiness and distress. The distress many times can even be extremely hellish sufferings.
Yeah. So the outside people who are not devotees have these qualities of suffering. These three characteristics of their suffering is there. What is first one? Is that even though they experience happiness distress, which after experiencing that karma is destroyed, the desire itself is not gone. Okay, that happiness and distress are done. Okay, but the desire is not yet gone. The desire leads to more actions which lead to further happiness and distress in future life. And third is the distress many times can even be extremely hellish. But for devotees, this will not be the case. We will see. Yeah.
The suffering induced by the Lord Himself, however, is by His desire alone, not by Jiva's desire. That is the seed, and the seed lasts only as long as necessary for Lord's purpose and no longer.
Yeah. The suffering induced by Lord Himself, that is in case of devotees, is by His desire alone, not by Jiva's desire. Means that Jiva's karma does not instigate it. That is the seed, and the seed lasts only as long as necessary for the Lord's purpose and no longer. Okay, so till the times Lord's purpose is fulfilled, what is Lord's purpose? I explained, to bring the devotee near to Him. That is Lord's purpose. Okay, so after that, the seed will not be there anymore. Okay, okay, we will just complete this uh, question answer, Mataji. Then we will take your question. Is it okay?
Mm,
No, because your
okay.
question may be answered in the future
Okay.
slide. Okay. Yeah. So now again Vishwanath Thakur is quoting a Praman for whatever he has said. So he says, sixth canto, third chapter, 29th verse, Ajamila section. जिह्वा न वक्ति भगवद्गुन्नाम ध्येयम् चेतश्च न स्मरति तत्चरणारविन्दम् कृष्णाय नो नमति यतिशीर एकदापि तानान्यवद्धम् असतो अकृत विष्णुकृत्यान्. Yes, Prabhu, please read the translation.
Bring to me the non devotees, Tan Asato Ananyavadham, who have never served Vishnu, Krat Vishnu Kratyan, whose heads, Yatsira, have never once bowed, Ekada Apino Namati, to Krishna, whose tongues have never pronounced Jivana Vakti, the name and the qualities of the Lord, Bhagavad Guna Nama Dhyayam, whose minds have never remembered, Chetahana Smarati, his lotus foot, Tat Charnar Vindam.
Yeah, so he is saying, bring to me four kinds of people. Who are the four kinds of people? First, Jiva Navakti Bhagavad Guna Namadhyam, whose tongues have not chanted the guna and pastimes of the Lord. Okay, and guna and nama of the Lord. Second, Chetas, whose minds have not remembered what? His uh, lotus feet. Tat Charana Arvindam. Okay. Third, Krishnaya no namati. They don't bow down. What? Their heads. Yat shira. उनका सिर कभी नमन नहीं करता है एक बार भी. And fourth, akrit Vishnu Krityan. Akrit. Krit means to do. Akrit means not do. What they are not doing? Vishnu Kritya. That which is pleasing Lord Vishnu. That they are not doing. So these four types of people, what you do? These people, anya advam. Bring to me. Okay. Like that he is saying. So he is saying, bring to me non-devotees. Okay. So who are these people who are they are not devotees, basically. Okay. The devotees are not going to suffer. But that's what the Lord is saying. Yeah, please read.
From this, it is understood that for the devotee suffering because of the Lord, there is no fall to hell. Because of the affection of the Lord for his devotee, the Lord does not give them extreme suffering.
Yeah. So many times, as we have seen, Prabhupada says that what we get suffering as devotees is a token punishment. Okay, many of the lectures Prabhupada will say, actually our hand was supposed to be cut, but now only finger is little bit injured. Many times we have heard from Prabhupada. That is the meaning of that. That we were supposed to actually undergo extreme suffering, a hellish suffering due to our karma, because we have been there in this material world since time immemorial. But Lord has reduced it to a very, very small, like we have the example of Bhava Ambudhi Vats Padam. Correct. The Bhava Ambudhi, the ocean of material distress, becomes the puddle, which is like the calf's hoof print. Water in the calf's hoof print. That's how the Lord deals with his devotees. Yeah, please read. So, what are the qualities of suffering of uh, gained by devotees from the Lord? Outside people had three qualities that we saw. What are the suffering of the devotees now? Yeah, please read.
The suffering induced by the Lord Himself, as is by His desire alone, not
Yeah,
by the
first
divine
is
desire.
by the desire of the Lord, not by karma. Okay. Yes,
Uh,
continue.
Second, that suffering lasts only as long as necessary for the Lord purpose and no longer.
Yeah.
Third, because of the affection of the Lord for His devotee, the Lord does not give them extreme suffering.
Yeah. So second is it's not going to keep the seed. Seed is no more there to again go and do the sinful activity or pious activity. The seed is not there. And third thing is what? That extreme suffering is not going to come. What kind of suffering will come? Token punishment. Okay. These are the three characteristics. Yeah, continue.
The suffering arising from karma and the Lord are like the suffering arising from receiving a beating from an enemy and one's mother.
Hmm.
One is like a poison, the other is like nectar.
Yeah, very good example. Like earlier, one example was given of the father and son. Okay. He takes away the uh, what was said distractions, basically whatever distractions is there for his study, the distractions were taken away. Okay. Now another example Vishnu Jalakur is giving, that it's like receiving a beating from enemy is for those people who are non-devotees, and receiving the beating from one's mother, that is for devotees. Both are receiving beatings, both are undergoing some suffering, but mother's beating everybody knows that it is for some good purpose. Okay. But the beating of enemy will surely not be for good purpose. One is like poison. Why it's like poison? Because that activity created more and more desire to do sinful activity in the future life. Whatever sinful activity he did now, that created more and more desire in future life to be done. But for a devotee, it is not like that. For a devotee, that punishment itself is reduced, and then seed is also not there. Okay, now the big question. But can't the Lord fulfill his purpose without giving suffering to his devotees? Okay, you are saying that Lord is very affectionate to the devotees and he wants them to come near him. So Lord is almighty, right? Omnipotent, omniscient, so many things you say omni. What happened now to his omnipotence? Can't he just give all this purpose fulfilled without giving suffering? Correct? Genuine question, right? We say God can do anything. He is so much omnipotence, omniscient, omni things. Now do this also, na? Are you not affectionate to the devotee? That means yes, you are actually in your heart not affectionate. You are just saying externally that I'm affectionate. But actually you are not affectionate. If actually you were, you would not have given suffering. Okay. Now let's
So,
see what is
so,
the
so
answer.
this is like a mother giving some suffering for betterment, but mother can also do the same thing by giving a very polite and with love instructions also.
Uh, actually, if you were a mother, Prabhu, you would not have said like that.
Mhm. That's what
Sorry.
that was the student feel. Okay, why she has not why she is giving me this way? She can give me the other way also.
No, mother knows when to beat the child.
Yes.
And father may not know. So mother exactly knows, when those who are mothers here, they can tell better that without that beating, that child will not be rectified. Okay, so that's what Vichana is going to say. Okay, yes, Ruji, please read.
For
Good
the
that you
Lord,
are only
yeah,
reading.
yeah.
Yeah,
For the Lord who solves all problems, will His
just read
purpose?
the
Sorry,
yeah,
it will not be fulfilled first.
yeah. Answer is that
Yeah.
you are applying your logic that Lord can do all this purpose be fulfilled without actually giving suffering and all. All this logic you are applying with your tiny brain, but understand the simple answer is it will not be fulfilled. Okay, please read.
He gives suffering to his dearmost, which ultimately results in happiness, like applying stinging ointment to the eye.
Yeah. So example is given another. He gives suffering to his dearmost, which who is dearmost?
Devotee.
Devotee. Which devotee? Sadhaka as well as Siddha, both. Which ultimately results in happiness. Ultimate result Lord sees, not immediate result. Like applying stinging ointment to the eye. So just like Jnana Anjana Shalakaya we say, right? So basically the Shalaka is a medicine which is pierced into the eye. A needle is there. In the needle, the ointment is applied. And then in the older times for night blindness, that was the medicine actually. The technology was not so advanced, or we can say it was more advanced. So they used to put the shalaka in the eyes and both the eyes, and then with the ointment on the uh, pin, and then medicine will go inside and cure. So like that, it is painful, but it's going to cure the night blindness. Yeah, please read.
Three purposes for the Lord to give suffering to his devotees. First, the order to preserve the secret of bhakti. Second, to avoid uprooting the opinions of the speculators and smartas. Third, to increase the longings of his devotees.
1 minute. Okay. So what are the three purposes? Now we have discussed that, okay, the purpose cannot be fulfilled without giving suffering. What is the answer? It will not be fulfilled. That is the answer. Okay. What is example? Just like the ointment has to be applied, then the injection has to be given. Correct. So when we put the injection, there is some pain. But through the injection, what is going? Medicine. Correct. Medicine only is going through the injection. That doctor knows. The child will not know. He will never understand only that what is the use of this medicine and why this pain is being given. Okay. So now three purposes that suffering has to be given. What is the first? In order to preserve the secret of bhakti. Now, somebody may, yeah, many people say no also, right? That they get bewildered. Are devotees also, they get heart attack, they are attacked, they also die, correct? And they also get cancer. And not only normal devotee, great sannyasis we have seen. Ah, they get cancer, their leg has to be cut, then whole body, the tumor is there, correct? And then many of the ISKCON sannyasis actually we have seen, they have undergone so much suffering, okay, which we feel as suffering actually. But if we ask them, like Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj, when he was asked for his tumor, he told, I would not like to exchange this with anybody, okay, because he understands uh, what is the result of the tumors or whatever things he is undergoing, how it is helping him in going more further to the Lord, closer to the Lord. Okay. And now we may see His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. We may think, Arey, he is so much suffering, he is not able to walk, he is not able to speak. But you see, what is the effect of it? He is preaching, and more people are getting attracted to him than ever. Okay. But just by showing his determination, just by showing that how bhakti can be practiced at any time, at any moment, and people can be inspired, and he not only inspired, he is initiating and helping so many other people to practice bhakti. We may think it is suffering, but actually Lord understands that how he is fulfilling the purpose. We may see, oh, Bhishma Dev is getting pierced so many arrows, but what he is doing by undergoing that, we may not be able to understand. Okay, what he is fulfilling. Second purpose, he is saying to avoid uprooting the opinions of the speculators and smartas. Yeah, okay, sorry. First one I didn't complete. In order to preserve the secret of bhakti, yeah. So many people will keep asking, Arey, what is the use of becoming a devotee? Devotee also keeps suffering like that. So their faith will not be shaken. But just imagine if it happens that somebody started chanting Hare Krishna and then suddenly in his life there is no suffering and everything is always good in his life. Then what will happen? Those who don't have faith in bhakti, they will also think that I should also practice bhakti now. And what will happen? They will disrupt the path of bhakti itself. Because without faith, they just saw the externals. that, oh yes, by practicing bhakti na, you don't get any suffering, everything goes good, money comes very nicely, and children are happy, and wife is also happy, I am also always happy, and no accident in life, no fever, no cold, nothing, just you start chanting Hare Krishna. So not eligible people, okay, they will also start doing this path which the Lord doesn't want. So he is protecting the path of bhakti or the secret of bhakti. Those who actually have faith, they will practice it even though there is suffering. You understand the point? Even though there is suffering, those who have faith will do it. Like people understand science is difficult to study, but there are people who don't study science. They take up commerce because they don't have faith in undergoing that much suffering. But there are people who take up science because they have the faith that yes, undergoing suffering, but it will give good results. And third is to increase the longing for his devotee. This we saw that how Lord brings his devotees closer. Okay. Okay. Just 1 minute. I'll come back. Hare Krishna. Okay. Continue. Okay. Maybe somebody
Yeah.
else can read.
So if
Yeah. Yeah. Please, please. Yeah, continue.
moreover, if I make the devotees always happy, then there would be no avatars such as Krishna and Rama, since they come to protect the devotees and destroy the demons. And if the avatars did not come, how could there be playing of devotees in the sweet ocean of pastime such as Rasa Leela?
Yeah. So now Lord is giving further reason that why the devotees may have to undergo suffering sometimes, because one is यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजामि अहम्. Lord appears as Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Cha Dushkritam. Correct. Bhagavad Gita, we have seen that Lord appears for the purpose of protecting his devotees. And another thing is when these avatars come, like Narsim Bhagwan comes, Prahlad Maharaj, he has reciprocation with him. Correct. So Vaman Dev comes. So there are reciprocation with his devotees. So any other avatar comes, Lord Ram comes, he has reciprocation with his devotees. Krishna comes, he has reciprocation with his devotees. Okay. Yes. Now another big question. But is it a fault if the Lord comes without having to deliver the devotee from suffering? Can't he come without the devotee suffering at all? So, does the Lord's appearance as avatar depend on the suffering on devotee? Is the Lord not independent? It looks Lord is dependent, right? You are giving all these answers that Lord, yeah, yeah, he will come so that reciprocation can happen. So that means Lord depends on the devotees. He is not independent Lord anymore. Okay, please read.
Oh, brother, indeed, you are indeed not familiar with rasa. Just listen. The sunrise appears splendid because of the darkness. In the summer, coolness is present, and in the cold season, warmth is present, pleasant.
Correct. So, very simple answer he has given is in one line. You are indeed not familiar with rasa. What is the science of rasa? Sambhoga, that is meeting, and vipralamba, that means separation. Okay, both nourish each other. Okay, both nourish each other. The meeting is nourished when there is separation, and separation is nourished when there was meeting prior to it, and there has to be meeting later. Okay, so the example is given: sunrise appears splendid because of darkness. What is darkness? Vipralamba. What is sunrise? Sambhoga. Okay, so another example is given: coolness is pleasant in the summer, and in the cold, warmth is pleasant. Okay, like that. Yeah, continue.
In the darkness, a lamp appears splendid rather than in the light. Food tastes delicious when there is suffering from hunger. There is no need to elaborate more.
Yeah, so very simple examples. If there was no hunger, we could not have tasted food or enjoyed the food so better. Okay, if we never felt hungry. That's why in spiritual world also, even though there is no chuda, chuda means the pangs of suffering due to hunger and thirst. Krishna and Shuddha both are absent, just like in material world, but they are present in a spiritual way, so that one can derive the happiness of feeding Krishna. Okay, it's given by Yogamaya like that. Yeah. So continue, Priji.
Uh, the truth is that Supreme Lord, the greatest benefactor of his devotees, purposely inflicts suffering on his devotees just to increase their humility and yearning for him. Thus, the
Yeah.
devotees' woes are not because of fruitive reactions, nor their reactions of prarabdha sins.
Yeah. So this is conclusion. Okay. This statement is the conclusion of the whole thing. What is the example here? What is the purpose he has told? So he purposefully inflicts. We understood what is the purpose. That Lord wants to increase their humility and yearning. Okay, yearning means to yearn more or to
Long,
uh, yes, Priji?
longing, basically.
Longing, correct, longing. Yes. So Lord wants the devotees longing to become more for him. And it is very general thing that the material world, when we suffer something, then we always remember the Lord. And it's the principle of material world also that we may forget the Lord in the happiness. Okay, it's general. It's seen. Okay, so these two purposes, Lord is fulfilling that he increases the humility of the devotees, okay, and the yearning of the devotees for him. So, in conclusion, what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that devotee suffering is woes or like painful pangs or suffering are not because of fruitive reactions, not because of their karma. Because this karma is what of two types, prarabdha karma and aprarabdha karma. What happened to these two? These both were destroyed. Okay, these two were destroyed by bhakti. So, if these were destroyed, the question was, why are the devotees suffering if it is destroyed? So, they are suffering because the Lord Himself wants that they should get more humility and yearning for Him. Okay, that is the answer. Yes. So, now Prabhupada will explain this. Okay, before we go to that, any questions on what we discussed? Is it okay? Is it clear? Whenever next time this question will come to your mind, that
Prabhuji, I have one question.
yeah, yes.
So, as here in previous few more slides, if we go back, there a lot means it was mentioned that till the time devotees not become serious in that way, we can say. Once they comes closer to us, closer to Krishna, the Lords take away all the sufferings and things. Something like that I came across, or that
Okay, tell
I
me
may have
which slide,
understood.
Roji, exactly. Because I'm not able to get
Um,
exactly what you're saying.
No, basically, till the time devotees are not coming closer to Krishna, like
Hmm.
he will take away all these.
Harishyata
Um,
Dhanam.
yeah. He will
Okay.
take away all this money and things. So I
Ah,
have seen there are some devotees who are very sincere, very serious, and even they are utilizing their wealth and everything very sincerely in the service of Lord. So is it
hmm.
like that? Initially, these things happens that initially Lord takes away everything and gives a lot of sufferings till the time devotee not becomes humble and serious and comes closer to Him. Once this whole kind of exercise happen, that once devotee become very sincere and goes very closer to Krishna, after that again Krishna will award the necessary things to him, and then they can use it properly in the service of Krishna.
Yeah. Prabhuji, with
Uh,
my example, since I quoted, I will tell you that yes, it happened 5, 6, 7 years back. But
hmm.
gradually, as the bhakti is increasing, the faith is increasing, Krishna is
Hmm.
restoring that position back slowly again. Yes, is my
Okay.
practical learning from that.
Yeah. Miss, you are saying that restoring wealth and whatever
Yes,
positive things
even
in their
yeah,
life.
relationship and wealth both is getting restored slowly, but with much better understanding. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Uh, so Mukund Padru, what I have read, means practically I might not have seen as much Kishore Vyasapuru is saying, but what I've read here is that there is no fixed formula for this. Like Shrimad Bhagavatam, we see Sudama Brahman. So he was very great devotee of the Lord, but he was like poor. But Lord gave him, not that he desired also. His wife told that, and that was also a devotional desire only, that at least we should have basic belongings, right? Roti, kapda, makan. Basic belongings should be there. So it should be, we should get. And then Sudama Brahmana went to Lord. He didn't ask also. Lord knew what is there in the heart of his wife, basically, not his heart also. And then he awarded that. And then because actually you see the wealth of a devotee, na, it's Prabhupada explains in one of the purports. Maybe I'll share it later sometime. It is wealth of the devotees is not given by Mother Durga. It is given by Lakshmi Devi. So there is difference between Lakshmi and money. Okay, for a devotee, the money which he gets is not the product of the material energy. He gets something which is called Lakshmi, which is he is using in service of Lord. Okay. And then the person who are outsider, when they get wealth, na, that is by their karma, and that they get based on their pious activities in past life and this life. So there is no fixed formula, Proji. Like Dhruv Maharaj, he got wealth at the age of 5. Lord himself gave. And he did not want it when he actually got purified in his heart. So basically, we cannot say there is a fixed formula in the life of devotees. Some devotee, like Prabhupada, we cannot say he's Nitya Siddha, obviously, but Lord took away everything from him. Okay, so to fulfill some purpose, and Yudhishthir
Okay,
Maharaj
Prabhu.
himself. So
Yeah.
we can never say there is a fixed formula which is happening. The answer is what Bhishma Dev said. Nahi yasya kaichid rajan puman ved vidit sutum na vijigyasaya yukta muhyanti kavyo apihi. Nobody can know the plan of the Lord. Okay, if you read the purport of that, Prabhupada explains nobody can understand the plan of the Lord. What purpose he is going to fulfill, what he's going to do, nobody knows. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, what you know, what he answers to this Vishnudev, he says, okay, no problem. I will go and ask the Lord. He's here only. So then Vishnudev says again, no, you can ask, but still you will not understand what he's saying. Okay, that is the answer actually. So there is no fixed formula as far as I understand. So practically, a few examples which Prabhuji is saying or that we may see, it may happen in one way, but there is no fixed formula, Prabhuji. Okay, because Lord is Swarat, and
Yeah.
what way, with whom he will do Tribhanga Lalitam form, with threefold bending form, we don't know. Okay. And we cannot understand, honestly. We can
Yeah.
never understand. With somebody it may happen so good, with somebody it may happen so worse, with somebody it may be mixture of both. We never know what Lord is seeing from his perspective. Okay, we never know. Okay. He knows what is best for him, and that we are sure that he is doing the best for him. And what is happening in our life is also best for us. Whether we understand or not, that is irrespective. Why the mother is beating the child, child will never understand. Now, when he grows up, he will surely understand. Okay, Naproji.
Yes,
And
yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
when the mother will beat, child also doesn't know. Okay. So as child, we don't know when the mother will beat. Sometimes we know some pattern. We know this thing. If I do, my mother will surely beat.
Can we say Gahano Karmana Gati? I mean, we don't.
Ah, very good. Yes, that is correct. Gahano karmana gati. But that is applicable for materialistic people.
Yes.
That they are under karma. So for them, Gahana means very mysterious it is. But for devotee also similarly, Gano Krishna Gati. We don't know how the Krishna's Gati will happen in our life. Okay, but one thing is sure, what is happening in our life, Lord is taking care and He is doing the best for us. We may not be able to understand. Okay, how do we know? Because we are trying to practice Uttama Bhakti. Okay. Yes, Premlati Kamataji.
Prabhuji, so many times sufferings happens because of our own offenses also.
Ah, correct.
So, and when we offend sometimes in devotee community, that offenses lead to diminish our faith.
Correct.
So, in that situation, it becomes very difficult because see, from so many lifetimes we have accumulated those anarthas, and that
Mm,
will not go out in a short practice of five,
correct.
10 years or 5 years of sincere practice. And
Mm,
at that time, sometimes when you offend, you knowingly, unknowingly get offended, and you again offend back. It
mm,
becomes very difficult to understand that plan. Although as a devotee we are being trained to surrender in any situation. We don't
mm,
give up our chanting and our
mm,
regular sadhana, but
mm,
still that grudge inside our heart
mm,
gets accumulated. Oh, this is happened because of my offenses. Am I such a fallen soul? So it
mm,
becomes very difficult to take look at yourself with a positive manner.
mm,
That means for me, if something happens like that, I'm not able to look at myself with due respect.
mm.
Self-respect is also important,
Very
no?
important. Yeah.
So how to figure this out, Prabhuji?
Mm. Okay. So basically, you are saying that what difficulty you are
Suffering,
feeling?
yeah, sufferings mean many times we suffer because of offenses.
Offenses. Yeah. Okay.
Offenses. So that time, I mean, I will see. I know surely it's not Lord's plan because it's only because of my own offenses.
Okay. Yeah.
Lord's
Correct.
plan is for those who are in under the Lord's energy. I'm not on that stage. I'm clear about that. I am practicing sadhana. I have my own anarthas, my own shortcomings, and I'm not under Lord's plan is for those highly elevated devotees who are under His internal energy.
Mm,
For practicing sadhaka like me, it's happening because of my offenses. And
mm,
at that time, I mean, I become so morose that I always feel that I'm such a degraded person. I'm not
mm.
able to give that due respect to myself.
Okay. Okay.
Becoming honest to yourself in such a kind of suffering, it
Mm,
becomes very difficult, Prabhu. So how to
mm,
figure this out?
mm. Okay. Uh, yes, Mataji, what you are saying actually very true. I have also many times felt like that actually. What you say, self dejection or self worth is not there, or self respect, as you say, whatever. These things we feel like that. Uh, but we have to understand that we are still a child in front of Lord. Okay, that is actually our position. We are still a child, and He is like mother. So, with that understanding, see the degree of advancement we may have, to that degree we will not feel that self dejection and self disrespect, all these things we will not feel as we go ahead in bhakti. I'm not saying that you don't have faith, I'm just saying to the degree we are, when we grow in our faith. And because the whole path of bhakti actually is like that pyramid na, we discussed earlier, that faith is at the bottom. Ado Shraddha. First is faith only. As we go up in bhakti, that bottom, na, it goes on increasing. That faith goes on increasing. That as we go up till prema. So this bottom, this faith is going on increasing more and more. So when our faith goes on increasing, these negative tendencies about ourselves will surely reduce. Because again, the relationship between mother and son is never, or child is never going to change. Okay, whatever the child may do, whatever the mother may do, the relationship is going to remain. So that I think will be important. If we have to basically remind ourselves. And how do we remind ourselves is very easy actually for us to be in association of devotee. Okay.
Mhm,
So in devotees association, as per our occupation and as per our responsibilities we can see what frequency we can have of devotee associating with devotee. Like I remember you were saying earlier that you hear regularly every day many hours of actually lecture and associate with devotees through that. Yeah, that's very good. So we have to have some way of associating with devotees. Why? They can remind us that relationship with our Lord is like mother and child, and those kind of things we will be reminded again, so that we can see our chanting, our all devotional activities in the right perspective. Okay. So that is only thing I can say, because it's surely there due to our anarthas and shortcomings that we have, that these things are there. But what is solution, Mataji? If you think and if I think, all the solution is that we have to sincerely practice bhakti only ultimately, because we have faith in bhakti, that is surely there. So yeah, there are times when it is bad times for us, and there are good times for us. So in both the times we should associate devotees who will remind us of this principle. That is what I can say.
So that is surely not the Lord's plan, and it is because of my anarthas. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
if
that part I did not answer. I will tell that thing also, Mataji. See, that suffering na, of devotees here in this slides, whatever we discussed, is only desire of Lord. Okay,
hmm,
this part was discussed. Desire of Lord. Okay, this is
hmm,
one part of the thing. Other part is aparad. Okay, and obviously one more is to protect the path of bhakti. Okay, protect the path of bhakti so that the unworthy people, unqualified people will not take up to bhakti, seeing that, oh, as soon as you become devotee, there is no suffering. So he protects the path of bhakti. That is their reason. But most important things are like it's a desire of the Lord. That Lord wants devotee to come closer to him very quickly. And aparad thing na is not discussed in these slides here. It's discussed in many sections of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Okay, like Bharat Maharaj also, and then Vishwanath Thakur discusses in Madhuri Kadamini also that due to aparad, devotees are suffering. Okay, so as you are saying, and we all understand, due to offenses, surely devotees, as devotees, we will have to undergo some suffering, which we might have done in past life or this life. We don't know. And also, one thing I want to say, Mataji, is that aparad, na definition of aparad, as you see, is that knowingly, intentionally committed activities of hatred, and three things are there. Okay, hatred, malice, or having envious nature towards other devotees, intentionally doing some harm to devotees is called aparad. Okay, unintentionally by mistake something happened is not a serious offense, that will go away by gradual practice of bhakti. So don't take that seriously. What you have to take seriously is intentionally you are trying to harm some devotee, trying to bring down some devotee, then it is called aparad. If that definition is clear, then I will say based on these intentional things which you have done, then you will have to, or anybody has to go undergo suffering. Don't imagine that you are doing aparad. Okay, no need to imagine. It's very clear. Definition is intentionally doing something harmful. Now, having understood that, if we have done something in past life or this life, we have to suffer for that. That is not a problem. That is there. So, yes, Mataji. So, whatever anarthas we may have, that may force us to do some aparad, because lust, anger, envy, illusion, everything is there. That may create something. But if we have not done it intentionally, then it's not serious. Okay, is it okay, Mataji? And as far as this, you told that you are saying out of humility that you are not very advanced, and that is only for those who are very great devotees who are under internal potency. For them, it will happen. No, it's not like that. Okay, out of humility, one may say, but one cannot change the siddhanta. Siddhanta is that sadhaka, even if first day he comes to devotional service, if he has faith in the process, as Rupa Goswami said, what kind of faith? Uttama bhakti faith. Anyabhilashita shunyam, Gyan Karmadi Anavritam, Anukulyena, Krishnanushilanam, these four things he has, then Lord is saying, I will personally take care of you. You may have anartha in your heart. You have other material desires, but are you ready to give them up? He says, yes, I am ready to give them up. And anarth nivritti will happen and it will go away gradually. Okay, then I will take care of you. But if you say that, no, 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 I don't want to give up my material desires, I want to keep them, and then practice bhakti also side by side, then Lord will say, no, no, I don't take care of you then. Then you are not karmi, not materialistic people, but you are in between. I will take some part of you, some care of you. Like that, Lord will say. So it's not about giving up all material desires. It's about are we wanting to give up? And then there is a part of bhakti which is called anath nivritti, where it will happen. That is fourth stage of bhakti. It doesn't happen in the beginning. So it's good that we may be humble in that way to say that, okay, I am not so pure. Okay, but we cannot change the Siddhanta. Siddhanta is if somebody is having anartha, impurity in heart, lot of impurity also, still Lord is ready to take care of him, just like we saw in that verse. What is that? Shipram Bhavati Dharmata. Before that, what is that? Even if he commits a very big crime, Lord will take care of him. What is that? Uh,
apichet
Apichet,
apidurachara.
yes, yes, yes. Apichet Suduracharo. Suduracharo. If you read
Hmm,
that, we have read that commentary actually.
hmm,
So there Lord says, no, no, even though he is addicted to woman and wine, I will take care of him. Why? Because he has faith that if I take shelter of Lord, all this will go away gradually. And he is ready to give up. Okay. So that is what is Mataji. So we should not change the Siddhanta. Uh, so yeah, surely as a sadhaka we have anarthas, but Lord is protecting us. And our karmas and our suffering is not due to our own anarthas or karma. Aparadha is giving us suffering, that is sure, if we have done
Mhm.
something. But now, if something is there as anartha, that is not making us suffer, because the child may have some bad habits, but mother doesn't beat the child because of he's having the bad habits like that. She may want to rectify it by different ways, but she doesn't keep demeaning the child and keep beating the child every day because he has some bad habit. She understands he has shortcoming and he want to improve. Child should want to improve. She's understanding like that. So if a common mother is understanding, what to speak of the Lord? Is it
Mhm.
okay, Mataji?
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, so we will go ahead. This took some time. Okay, so what is Srila Prabhupada saying about this topic of destruction of prarabdha karmas? Okay, this topic was important because again we keep getting this doubt that whether Lord is actually protecting the devotees. Why so many devotees are suffering? Why so many things are happening that Lord is not protecting the devotees? And it's how human nature is also always sometimes that it comes. So we can remember these points, what said here in this slides. Okay, so maybe somebody else can read. Mm, yeah, Shri Gangaputra Prabhu, would you like to read? I think you read, na Prabhuji. Mukund Pat Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhuji. As Srila Prabhupada on Prarabdha Haratvam, as such, how is it possible that anyone actually engaged in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness has not become purified? It is not possible. One who is engaged in Krishna consciousness and devotional service has without doubt become freed from all contaminations of material sinful activities. Devotional service therefore has to power to actually nullify all kinds of reactions to sinful deeds. A devotee is nevertheless always alert not to commit any sinful activities. This is his specific qualifications as a devotee.
Yeah, so here we see Prabhupada is nowhere saying that he should be a pure devotee. Then only it will be removed. Okay, he has not mentioned like that. What he is saying that he should be practicing, trying to practice pure devotional service here. One who is engaged in Krishna consciousness and devotional service has without doubt become free from all contaminations of material sinful activities. He has been removed of all the prarabdha karma. Okay. Devotional service therefore has a power to actually destroy. Yeah. And then very important, what we say, a note here from Prabhupada is that he should not be trying to commit sinful activities based on this principle that anyhow Lord is going to remove all this. Let me commit more sinful activities. That should not be done because that will again become seventh offense. Yeah, continue, Prajit.
Thus, Srimad Bhagavatam states that by performing devotional service, a person who has born even in a family of dog eaters may become eligible to take part in the performance of ritualistic ceremonies recommended in Vedas. It is implicit in this statement that a person born into a family of dog eaters generally not fit for performing yajnas or sacrifice. Unless one is Brahmana, he cannot perform these ceremonies.
Yeah, so same thing as earlier Vishwanath Thakur told that he has to take one more birth to actually perform this yagyas, but he can be respected as a Brahmana because he is a Vaishnava who is greater than Brahmana also. Yeah.
A person is born in a Brahmana family or in a family of dog eaters due to his past activities. If a person is born in a family of dog eaters, it means that his past activities were all sinful. But if even such a person takes to the path of devotional service and begins to chant the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, he is at once fit to perform the ritualistic ceremonies. This means that his sinful reactions have immediately become neutralized.
Yeah. Yeah. So now Rupa Goswami he is giving the proof. Okay. From Puran. Okay. What is the proof for? That all the prarabdha, everything is destroyed. So a proof is given. Aprarabdha phalam papam putam bijam phalonmukham krameneva priliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. Yes, Prabhuji. Okay, somebody else can read. Madhavarinam Prabhu, are you available? Would you like to read? or maybe somebody else. Okay, Aruna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. For those engaged in bhakti to Vishnu, Vishnu Bhakti Ratatmanam, Ratatmanam. Step by step, Karmaneve, the aprarabdha, Kuta Bija, and prarabdha karmas are destroyed. Praliyate. Padma Puran.
Yeah. So Praliyet. Hare Krishna. Okay. So four things are told here. First is aprarabdha. Then second is what? Papa phalam. Papa phalam is whatever sinful activity was done, it generated some results. Phalam. So because it is already generated, that is told as prarabdha. Okay. Prarabdha means which has already started. Prarabdha, arabdha, which has already started. Phalam has come, results have come. That is okay. Going in this verse is not in order, but here it's there in order. Then kutam. We will see what the meaning of this word kutam. And then there is bijam. Okay, this is like seed, and this is like uh, something more than seed. We'll see. And follow and mukham. Okay. So they are all what? Kramena in the order. Okay, in order. They're destroyed. Praliyeta. Destroyed. When is it destroyed? विष्णु भक्ति रत जो जब भी कोई विष्णु भक्ति में रत हो जाता है रत आत्मा आत्मनम आत्मनाम okay somebody is engaged in Vishnu bhakti like that it is said these four things are destroyed yeah so please read this
Srila Prabhupada on this verse. It is stated in the Padma Puran that there are four kinds of effects due to sinful activities, which are listed as follows. First, the effect which is not yet fructified. Second, the effect which is lying as seed. Third, the effect which is already mature. And fourth, the effect which is almost mature.
yeah
It is also stated
yeah
that
continue
all these It is also stated that all these four effects become immediately vanquished for those who surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu and become engaged in his devotional service in full Krishna consciousness.
yeah so it will be good if devotees have their NOD book for reference parallelly okay so as we are going so I have that soft copy here open in Vedabase so similarly you can also have a hard copy book maybe which is there with you so you can see it or it will be best if you read the things before the session then you can understand where what I am quoting from because I am not taking the whole NOD book of Prabhupada. Okay, so you can keep it handy to you so that you can just go through when I'm showing Prabhupada's parts and then you can maybe read the remaining sections yourself. Okay, so these are the four things which are there in the verse which Prabhupada has translated in English. Okay, he will explain each one word by word. Uh, in the coming slide he'll say okay so first is bhakti destroys sinful desires so the desires are the seeds for action right so they are referred here as papa bija okay so what is Rupa Goswami quoting this from Shrimad Bhagavatam the proof for destruction of bijam okay where is this bijam mentioned here okay this is a bijam
B.
okay this part is being told now is going to be destroyed by the path of bhakti. What is the proof for that? Srimad Bhagavatam explains this shloka, Ajamil section. Tayastani aghani puyante tapodan vratadibhihi. Tayastani aghani puyante tapodan vratadibhihi. Na dharmajam tad hridayam tad api ishangri sevaya. Yes, Mataji, please read.
Although one may neutralize the reactions of sinful life through austerity, charity, vows, and other such methods, these pious activities cannot uproot the material desires in one's heart. However, if one serves the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is immediately freed from all such contaminations.
Yeah, he is immediately freed. Okay, from all such contaminations. Okay. So, what is the word here? Tad hridayam. What is there in the heart? The material desires, adharma jam, from which adharma is born. Jam means to take birth. Okay. So what is that referred to here? Bijam, Pap Bijam. He destroyed from one's heart. Where is the word destruction mentioned? Aghani. Okay, the sinful things. Okay. Adharam the puyante. Taiha puyante. Puyante means to be purified or neutralized like that. Okay. Those reactions are neutralized. Yes. Continue.
Srila Prabhupada on Bija
Har
Hartavam.
Haratvam. Harat
Haratvam.
Bija means that seeds which are there, the sinful desires. Okay, the desires part. Har lena. Haratvam. Okay. Yes.
By performing Vedic ritualistic activities, by giving money in charity, and by undergoing austerity, one can temporarily become free from the reactions of sinful activities. But at the next moment, he must again become engaged in sinful activities. For example, a person suffering from venereal disease on account of excessive indulgence in sex life has to undergo some severe pain in medical treatment and he is then cured for the time being. But because he is not able to remove the sex desire from his heart, he must again indulge in the same thing and become a victim of the same disease.
Yeah. So now this example is given for the this sinful desires in the heart. Okay. So first he is saying that Vedic ritualistic activities, there are things prescribed. Okay, like giving charity, all these things, austerity. One can temporarily be getting rid of all these sinful reactions, but the desires are not removed. Okay, where is this mentioned? It's also mentioned like sixth canto, first chapter. Uh, you have the verses 8, 9, all these things, where it's mentioned that how this path is like the elephant bath. Okay, so elephant takes bath and then again puts the dust on him. It's like that. So desires are not removed. He is getting treated of the disease, but again he is doing the same thing. Yeah, continue.
So, medical treatment may give temporary relief from the distress of such venereal disease, but unless one is trained to understand that sex life is abominable, it is impossible to be saved from such repeated distress. Similarly, the ritualistic performances, charity, and austerity, which are recommended in the Vedas, may temporarily stop one from acting in sinful ways. But as long as the heart is not clear, one will have to repeat sinful activities again and again.
Yeah, yeah, continue.
Another example given in Srimad Bhagavatam concerns the elephant who enters into a lake and takes a bath very seriously, cleansing his body thoroughly. Then, as soon as he comes onto shore, he again takes some dust from the earth and throws it over his body. Similarly, a person who is not trained in Krishna consciousness cannot become completely free from the desire for sinful activities. Neither the yoga process nor philosophical speculations nor fruitive activities can save one from the seeds of sinful desires. Only by being engaged in devotional service can this be done.
Yeah, so only by practicing bhakti, the sinful desires can be removed. Okay, so even the path of jnana that cannot remove the sinful desires because it has accomplishing bhakti part in it that can remove the sinful desires. Okay, now bhakti destroys avidya. So now till where we have reached, see, we have discussed there are things like avidya which creates papa bijam, and then from papa bijam comes the papam, which is the sinful activity, and then that creates suffering. Okay, this was the sequence which Rupa Goswami says kleshascha tridha. What are the three types of kleshas? First is avidya, second was papa bijam, sinful desires, and third was sinful activity. And then suffering already it has come. There is suffering. So in this suffering part, what was there? Aprarabdha karma, prarabdha karma, kutam, and bijam. So this bijam is different. Okay, this is called karma bijam. Okay, karma bijam. Okay, and this bijam, this papa bijam, this is sinful desires. That is different. Okay, so These two are different. So what we have discussed till now, papam has sinful activities. These sinful activities generate suffering. What kind of suffering? Aprarabdha karma, kutam, and bijam. These four. These all four are destroyed. It was described in previous slide. Okay, where Prabhupada gave the examples of venereal disease and all those things. Okay. Sorry. Venereal disease and all was for this Papa Bijam. Before that, we discussed the big purport of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay, where this example of Yajna, okay, was given. That person is qualified to do Yajna, okay, just by chanting the holy name. So those things were described. That all this suffering, okay, of devotees are destroyed even as a sadhaka. That we discussed. Then now, after that, we discussed about Prabhupada explaining the venereal disease and elephant bath, all those things. That was regarding Papa Bijam, that desires are destroyed by bhakti. Okay. And now what we are discussing is avidya. This is the root cause. Okay, root of generation of Papa Bijam, that is sinful desires are born from avidya. And from the desires comes the actions, sinful actions. Okay, so this is the last part of the klesha. Okay, the klesha is of three types. Suffering is of three types: avidya, papa bijam, and papam. So last part of it, avidya, we are discussing now. Okay. Yatpad pankaj palash vilash bhaktya karmashayam gratitam udgrathyanti santah tadvanna riktamatayo yatayo piruddha shroto ganastamaranam bhajavasudevam. Okay, somebody else can read. Who has not got chance till now? Okay, Mataji is busy. Uh, okay, Nagnaji. Okay,
Shall
Isha
I read?
Mataji.
Yes.
Yes, Isha Mataji. Please read.
The devotees, Shanta, by action of
Just
service.
read the English, Mataji. Just read the English. Yeah, it has difficult words. Just read
Devotees
the.
by actions of service to the toes of of the lotus feet of the Lord can very easily overcome the knot of ignorance, carrying unlimited impressions of karma, tied tightly by action. Because this is very difficult, the empty-minded non-devotees, the jnanis and yogis, although trying to stop the flow of sense activities, cannot do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of us.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So here he is saying from fourth canto, 22nd chapter, 39th verse. He's quoting this as proof. Proof of what? Proof that it destroys, bhakti destroys avidya. Okay, so where is that word avidya? It is mentioned here. Karma ashayam grathitam. Not of ignorance, carrying unlimited impressions of karma. Okay, this is called karma ashayam. How is it? Grathitam. Tied tightly. ग्रंथि बना लिया इसने. Okay, gratitam. Okay. So this is being destroyed. For whom it is not destroyed? Okay, who is not able to do so? There are people who are empty-minded non-devotees. Who are they? Jnanis and yogis. Okay. Rikta matayah. Mati means uh, intelligence. Rikta means empty. Okay. So they are empty-minded. So they cannot do. But who can do? The devotees are able to easily overcome Udgrathayanti. They are easily able to overcome. Okay, why they are able to overcome? By the actions of their service. They are doing actions of service. To whom? Yatpada Pankaj Palash. To the lotus feet of the Lord, they are doing service. Okay, so hence one is advised to engage in devotional service to Krishna. Okay, the son of Vasudev. Okay, that is this verse. Non-devotees like Jnanis and Yogis are not able to overcome avidya in their heart, but devotees easily overcome by the actions of service. That is the verse. Okay. So this is the proof that devotees can overcome avidya in their heart. Okay. Yeah. So we'll just complete this part and then pause today. Yes, Mataji, please continue. Isha Mataji.
Though Bhakti destroys avidya, the destructions happen only at the stage of bhava. This is illustrated in the series of verses starting from Shravantam Shwa Katha Krishna,
Huh.
SB 1.2.
Correct. So bhakti surely destroys avidya, but that does not mean that as soon as one starts bhakti, avidya is destroyed. We can ourselves see that we are practitioners, but avidya, ignorance is so much there. When does this complete destruction will happen? When one reaches at the stage of bhav. Okay. And even when we have this previous slide, right? See here. Here we have the sinful desires. So can we say in our heart as sadhaka sinful desires are gone? No. Desires are not completely gone. They are there in the form of vasanas in our heart. We still have them as anarthas in our heart. But when will it go? It will go 75% at the stage of nishtha. As we go ahead, so anarth nivritti will happen more. More vasanas will be destroyed. How about this papam and suffering? Okay, this prarabdha karma, and all this suffering, what will happen? What has happened to this? They are fully destroyed on the first day of bhakti. First day they are themselves destroyed. Whole sinful account is destroyed. Okay, the very first day we have faith in the process of Uttama Bhakti. Okay. But these two, avidya and papa bijam, will take gradual time to get destroyed. Papa bijam is more synonymous with the vasanas or anarthas in our heart. Anarth nivritti will happen gradually. Avidya will be destroyed at the stage of bhava. Okay. So undue expectations we should not have in bhakti. That I have come into bhakti, so many years happened, but still avidya is there, still sinful desires are there. When these desires will go? Okay. For that we have utsahat, nishayat and dharyat. We should have patience. So things will happen at their own pace, at their time. Okay. Obviously, when the devotees are more serious and sincere, it will happen quickly, but it will never happen overnight. Okay. So undue expectation we should not have from ourselves and from bhakti also. Okay. What the bhakti has destroyed? Papam. That is suffering has already been destroyed. What kind of suffering? Aprarabdha, prarabdha, kutam, bijam, all these have been destroyed already on the first day. That is the understanding. Yes. So these verses are quoted here. Okay. So that verses actually are the description of how the sadhaka goes from Shraddha till Prema. Okay. So you can see that later. And I will just show that part which is there in this context, that is avidya. At this stage, the knot of ignorance, vidyate hridaya garanti, that is ignorance within the heart is cut, and one sees the Supreme Lord. Drishya evatmani ishvare. Okay. So one will be able to see the Lord. So that is very high stage. That is at the stage of bhava and prema. That will come. Okay. Yeah. And there is one more reference which Rupa Goswami gives for the destruction of avidya from Padma Puran. Okay. Kritanu yatra vidyabhir hari bhaktir anuttama avidyam nirdhati ashu dava jwalena pannagim. As the forest fire burns up a female snake demon, Dava Dava Jwala Pannagim Iva. Pannagim is female snake. Supreme devotion to the Lord, Hari Bhakti Anuttama, quickly burns up avidya. Asu, very quickly. Avidyam, Nirdahati, quickly destroys. How does it destroy? Krita Anuyatra Vidyabhi, by the knowledge which accompanies bhakti. Correct. Jnana and Vairagya. They are automatically produced by bhakti. Okay. So they destroy avidya very, very quickly. This is proof number two. Second proof for destruction of avidya from Padma Puran. Okay. Yes, Isha Mataji, please read.
The example of being given in this connection that when there is a forest fire, the extensive blazing automatically kills all the snakes in the forest. There are many, many snakes on the ground of the forest, and when the fire takes place, it burns the dried foliage, and the snakes are immediately attacked. Animals who have four legs can flee from the fire or can at least try to flee, but the snakes are immediately killed. Similarly, the blazing fire of Krishna consciousness is so strong that the snakes of ignorance are immediately killed.
Krishna Prabhuji, I think we lost your voice.
Hare Krishna. Is
Yeah.
it audible now?
Yes, audible. Yes.
Actually, current went here, so Wi-Fi switched off suddenly. I just joined from my mobile data. Let's see how it goes. Yes, Mataji, please continue. Are you able to
Prabhuji,
see
I have
the screen?
completed. Uh,
You completed. Okay, okay. So yeah, basically example is given that these female snakes are surely killed, whereas some animals may try to flee. But these snakes are compared to avidya, okay, which is destroyed by bhakti, just like they are destroyed by the uh, fire, forest fire. Okay. So I think pause here and then continue tomorrow from the speciality two. So first was a very big discussion because there is a lot of things written by Srila Prabhupada also on that topic. And second to sixth specialities when we discuss, they are quite small sections. So tomorrow we will be able to complete this and then we'll be able to start the chapter one of NOD. Okay. So anybody has any questions on what till now?
Uh, Prabhuji, a humble request. Can you share the
Yes,
PDF
Mataji.
of all these your notes? It will be helpful, Prabhuji, to go through.
Yes, yes, surely. Yeah.
Hmm? Okay, thank you.
So I will share whatever we discussed, I will share in the WhatsApp group.
Previous sessions
Yes.
also, Prabhuji, of your Nadi. Okay, thank you.
Prabhuji,
Yes, yes, yes,
I
surely.
one more request I put on chat also. On Sundays, can we start on 11:30 instead of 11, Prabhu?
Yeah, yeah. 11:30. Tomorrow 11. Everybody.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. 11:30 is okay. 12 is also okay because in temple also we have classes, no Bhagavatam classes of Maharaj has
Yeah,
come.
We
So
can start.
attending that. Um, hmm?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupa Goswami ki jai, Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki jai.